There's a variety of ways of putting alphabets together on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2. In this video, we're going to focus on the monograms. So there's a whole section in menu 7 that are for monograms. You see that they are a little bit larger. And then in menu 2, there's even other styles of monograms as well. So I'm going to just start with this one. When I touch the letter, here is what you're going to notice. First off, this is going to just stitch from where it's going to start to where it's going to end. So where is that starting point? You'll see it with the little plus. That's where your needle is positioned to start, and then it will go ahead and stitch. Now, if you want to put more than one monogram together, I'm going to show you how to do it in the sequence creator down here. But normally, you're just going to go ahead and stitch one of these out at a time. Now, if you want to stitch more than one letter, now we got to talk about different starting points. So for example, as you look at different letters, they are all going to start at different places. So you can't just go from one letter to the next letter because they're going to overlap in an odd area. Just depends on the combination you put together. So here is an extra bonus bit for you. So let's go ahead and open Sequence Creator. Select the letters you want to put into the memory. And I'm going to just go ahead and come to the monograms. And this little guy is right on top of it. We're going to use him, so I'm going to slide that over there. Any place you see those little up and down marks or hash marks, that means that you can touch and move that to any area you want on the screen. So if these are in your way or you don't like them where they are, you can move them up and down. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting an A and a B into memory. And then I'm going to minimize this so I can kind of see them on screen. So what you can do with this particular little kind of Dresden plate looking item is to add stitches in between these letters to say move them so where the A ends and the B begins would actually flow nicely together. And then you can go ahead and stitch them out. Here's what I'm talking about. Now this is a little trial and error, so once you get started you can see how to kind of play around with it. So right now if you arrow up, the A is selected. Then, if we want to add stitches, and I'm going to just go ahead and touch the down arrow, it will add stitches in between the A and B, and for example, adding them to push that B down further. Now, if you don't want them, open the Edit Stitch menu and touch the trash can to delete out those stitches. So I'm looking at the possibility of actually maybe moving or adding stitches that would move the B to the side. What if we were to leave like a little extra kind of swish right there, kind of letting it do the A, finish off, and then the B will finish with a little bit bonus. I'm not trying to get it right on top of each other because I think it actually kind of looks fun. And we could see what it's going to look like. Now keep in mind that your machine thinks you're going to want to repeat this, and hence why the next grouping is going to stitch on top of the first grouping. So come down to Stitch Repeat, touch Single, Stitch Program, and now you can actually see how this is going to look stitched out. And I like the way it's going to be. Now, keep in mind that your starting point is way over here, so make sure on your fabric you're going to be starting to the left of where you want it to stitch, knowing that it's going to stitch down and around and kind of angle down to the right. So I want you to have some fun with stitching out some monograms, maybe placing a third one and seeing if you can move them around again, because your combination of monograms will be different depending on whose name you are featuring. So I love that you can do the additions. You don't have to just sew one out and then sew a second one out and kind of figure out where it's going to go. This will assist you and you can stitch it all out at once.